Okay, now we're here with the Volkswagen again, 2007 GTI, and I'm going to go over the method of setting the annunciators up. These are the warning lights. Right now they're set up for monitoring RPM at 2200 RPM. So we're going to go to the menu. We're going to scroll down until we see annunciator stop. If it hasn't been set up, it will not say annunciator stop, it will just say annunciator. But we have to stop it first to change anything. So I'm going to select it, I'm going to hit both buttons. Annunciator is now stopped. Go back in, go back to annunciator. I'm going to select it. And you're now seeing all the parameters that were selected in the parameter menu option. These are all the items you've selected to be viewed in scan mode. Now, as before, I'm going to select RPM just because it's easy to see the results of doing this. I'm going to select RPM, which is where the cursor is. I'll move the cursor a little bit so you can see that. Go back to RPM, and I'm going to select it by hitting both buttons. And you see a line that is there. That indicates you've selected RPM. Now I can select the second parameter, which I'm not going to do to save time, and then you'll be setting up both parameters in the preceding steps, but we're just going to do one for now. I hit both buttons to exit this until it says closing screen. Now it wants me to indicate if I want the light to go off above or below the entered value. I'm going to select above. Now it's giving me an option to enter a positive or negative number, a plus or minus. So we're going to enter a plus or a positive number since RPMs are always positive. Okay. Now I'm in a screen where I can enter the value. So I'm going to toggle to the right with the right button, left with the left button. I'm going to select 2200 RPM again. So I've got it highlighted, hit both buttons, and the 2 will show up at the bottom of the screen. Now I'm going to scroll over to the, I'm going to go back to the 2 and select that. So now I've got a 22 entered. I'm going to enter a 0 and another 0, and I've entered 2200. Now I'm going to scroll over to the X. There's a P and an X. The P would be chosen if I wanted to enter a decimal, like if I was watching air-fuel ratio and I wanted it to go off at 12.1, I'd have to enter a 1, 2, and then the P for the point, and then the 1. When I'm all finished, I'm going to select the X. And it's going to ask me to confirm that this is okay. Hit the right button to confirm, hit the right button. Now I'm in a screen that says rate 02. What this means is it's going to scan the upper and the lower field once, which is 2 scans, and then the annunciator. I'm going to select OK because RPM is something you want to monitor quickly, especially if you want to use this as a shift light. If this was a temperature, I may say no here and select a much higher number, because you don't need to monitor temperatures like 10 times a second. But this gauge updates very fast, it scans fast, it's scanning about 10 times a second, which is what you need to accurately monitor things like knock retard, or ignition advance, or in our case RPM for a shift light. So I'm going to say OK. And now I'm back in the screen, normal scan mode, and as RPM hits 2200, the lights are going to go off. And that's how you set up the annunciator.